Welcome to miniOrange. miniOrange provides single sign-on solution for Jira Marketplace, and as we know, that is the best SAML SSO solution available in the market. So in this video, we are going to set up Jira Single Sign-on with miniOrange using SAML protocol. Let's get started with the setup. Go to your miniOrange Single Sign-on plugin. You can navigate the plugin by clicking on Take a Tour of the add-on. Now let's proceed with the configuration. Click on Add New IDP. You can select Manual Setup Flow, which gives you access to all the various setup options that we provide to add a SAML identity provider. If you want to configure your IDP setup from the get-go, you can use Quick Setup Flow, which we will be covering in this video. Scroll down and select miniOrange as an IDP. In the Service Provider Metadata window, you can view the setup guide of the plugin. Here you will get step-by-step instructions. So firstly, we are configuring miniOrange as identity provider. Go to the miniOrange login page, and log in with your credentials. Now go to the Apps, and click on the Manage Apps option. To add the new application, click on the Add Application button. Under SAML Application Type, click on the Create App button. In the search bar, type Jira, and then click on the Jira SAML application. Here, you can change the application name. You will find SP Entity ID and Service Provider Metadata in the plugin. Select Manually configuring the metadata on your IDP. SP Entity ID is used to uniquely identify your service provider. Kindly copy it and paste it in the field. ACS URL will tell identity provider where to send SAML response after a successful authentication. Copy it and paste it in the field, and click on the Next button. Here, email address attribute is mapped to name ID. To add more attributes, click on the Add Attribute button. Enter attribute name as a first name, and from drop-down, select its value as a first name. Now create one more attribute, and enter its name as a last name, and from drop-down, select its value as a last name, and click on the Next button. Here, we have selected default as our group name and passwords as our login method. Now click on the Next button. Here, you can save advanced settings options like Relay State, Encrypt Assertion, Name ID format which is not set to basic, Force Authentication and so on. And to save the settings, click on the Save button, and you can see Successfully Configured App message here. Now, let's set up Jira as a service provider. Go to the Service Provider Metadata window in the plugin, and click on Proceed. Enter the customer IDP name of your choice. Scroll down. IDP metadata can be imported in one of the three ways: metadata URL, metadata file, or manual setup. We will be configuring IDP by entering URL of its metadata file. You will get the metadata URL from the miniOrange application. Go to your app and under Select drop-down, click on the Metadata option. Under Information Required to set miniOrange as IDP, copy metadata data URL and paste it in the plugin, and click on the Save button. You can see SAML Settings Updated message. Go down to the Test and Get Attributes URL. Copy the URL. Go to the Incognito window, and in the location bar, paste the copied URL from the plugin, and press Enter. And you can see successful test configuration here, along with name ID, first name, and last name, and scroll down to check SAML request and response. Go back to the plugin, and click on Proceed. In the User Profile section, you can map the user profile attributes. While configuring attributes in miniOrange application, we have configured name ID with user's email, as miniOrange has separate attributes for first name and last name. Select Yes from the given drop-down. Now for the first name attribute, select first name, and for the last name attribute, select last name. Click on Save and Proceed. From this drop-down, configure the default group that will be used to grant application access to the user. If no group is mapped, then users are added by default to the Jira Software Users group. And from this drop-down, you can choose which user would be assigned the default groups. Click on View Results. Scroll down. And click on Finish. Your IDP is successfully configured. Now, whenever any user will try to access Jira login page, he will be redirected to miniOrange for authentication after some time. That is, the users will be forced to log in via miniOrange SSO. If you want to keep this behavior, then click on I understand. But if you want to change the behavior and show both Jira login page and miniOrange SSO button, then click on Sign in Settings link. Now, click on Auto Redirect to IDP option to disable it. Scroll down and click on Save. Now, navigate to the Configured IDPs tab from the left menu. You will find all the configured IDPs here. You can view, test, edit, or delete your configuration here. You can also enable or disable SSO for Jira Software and Service Management. As your test connection was successful, now you will see the SSO button on Jira login page. Click on Use Corporate Login button, and you will be redirected to miniOrange login page for SAML authentication. Now enter your miniOrange login credentials and click on the Login button. You will be successfully logged into Jira dashboard using miniOrange credentials. Go to the user profile to check the user data. You can see user's full name and email ID here. miniOrange provides best single sign-on solutions. Thanks for watching.